This is things you might not have heard from the Conversation Project. I am Jay Cleveland Payne, and this morning, as I record this, coming to you live a few minutes late for 5:35 a.m. Central Time, we're going to give you 8 news stories that you deemed as conversation. You helped us pick out these conversational stories to talk to you about. And of course, we're talking about the biggest one out there off the bat, and seeing the picture here of the governor of Minnesota. And the mayor of Minneapolis, and you will see no pictures, no images of the shooter. We'll talk about the story in a moment. It is that bad. We give a little bit extra time to a hot take all by itself, so everything is self-contained in what's there. And that's the last time we're going to talk about them until we get some sort of resolution. But we will talk about this because it's the biggest story out there, and it's driving the news cycle for the next couple of days. Luckily, we're not going to see, I don't think we'll see, people parked outside of this school for a week. We'll see what happens there. Meanwhile, let's talk about what we're actually doing here in general. The Conversation Project is your home for headline news, information, and pop culture references that you guys think are worth chatting about. We are chatting about, of course, Minneapolis today. We're chatting about the CDC director who was ousted and taking more folks with her, or the folks leaving with her because things just don't look right. And we're talking Taylor Swift and how she can actually contribute, so says Mr. Charlie Kirk, her actual assets now that she is going to be a married woman, and 5 of the stories to go along with the things we talk about today. Now, you can be a part of our show literally by following us on our feeds on Facebook and X and helping us pick the stories by engaging those stories. You can also help us out by going to our website. This is conversationproject.com, checking out some replays, visiting our sponsorships and partnerships links, and of course, our origin story there. One partner in particular, one sponsor right now I want to talk about is Ground News. Very quickly, visit our affiliate link. This is a conversationproject.com/ground news. And you can help us out by giving us a little bit of affiliate action. You pay for the 40% off your Vantage plan for news, and we get a small commission back. It works to all of our benefits. So that's how that works out there. So 8 stories right off the bat. Let's get to the big one. Tragic school shooting happening yesterday in Minneapolis, claiming the lives of an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old at a Catholic school. Shooter died by suicide at the scene. 17 other children were wounded. About 3 adults were wounded as well. They're taken to hospitals at separate occasions. Anyone else that was injured in the attacks essentially is going to be fine at this point. There's no real life-saving injuries going on, but people are still getting stable right now. And this incident, of course, shines a light on the harsh truth that persistent vulnerabilities in traditional schools and safe spaces, including religious schools, they do exist. Now, community leaders are calling for trauma counseling, immediate safety audits, all those things happening for these things here, which you do. The real tragic number on this one, I believe it's 43, around 43, I believe is the number of school shootings, mass shootings we've had in a calendar year. Now, school years are just basically began in August going into September. So not 43 shootings in 2 weeks, 43 shootings going from last January all the way to now so far. And as the school year begins, we may see more things. There's a lot more to dig into for the details of the shooter. There are details that go along with an actual connection to the school, and we'll know more about this going forward. No manifesto, but a whole lot of writing that just seems like crazy. We should not be having to have these discussions, or we should have fewer than 43 in a year. And so it should be so tragic that they happen so rarely. We can really get big about this one. The problem is 43 in a year is a great deficit. It's a lessening in what we've had in many years prior, including some COVID years. But it's still 43 more than we should have had at all. The story is developing because late yesterday, Dr. Susan Monarez, who was confirmed as a CDC director in July, months ago, was abruptly ousted from her role about 4 weeks after actually stepping into the job. 3 senior officials actually left with her, or left in tandem, essentially, resigning after she was let go, which is where things get a little interesting. They cite escalating concern over politicization, budget chaos, and vaccine policy overhauls under this self-secretary, that being one RFK Jr. Now, Monarez's attorneys actually say she wasn't fired and she didn't resign. So it wasn't one of those sign this paperwork or you're fired thing. They just forced her out. They just pushed her out the door and refused, because she refused to endorse what was she called unscientific directives. Basically, the things coming down from one RFK Jr. don't really settle in the sense of any sort of scientific reason at all. So she just sort of balked at it. And so she was pushed out, not quite fired. She didn't sign the resignation. She didn't go anywhere, but she no longer is there, if you will. The turnover in all the people staff there, including folks that was like, this ain't good, we're leaving, doing it the right way. It deepens actually a crisis of confidence within the actual agency for people looking for leadership, looking for people who've been there for a while to guide them, and they're gone. And not because the new leader is coming up with new things and the old folks are going on to other things because it's time. So the new leader is coming up with things that don't quite make sense, and the old leadership there don't want to deal with it, and they're doing it the polite way, or they're being forced out, be firing as well. This is not going to end pretty for any of us. And as I've said in many reports right now, the changes we've had in this administration have been so rapid that I'm not sure exactly how we get to a fix until we, wake up, look ourselves in the mirror and realize that we may be the problem. Let's take some time in California. Let's step in a couple minutes in California, as they will deal with a new governor fairly soon. And the governor will be new because Gavin Newsom is not going to run. He is term limited, and the governor will not be Kamala Harris because she's got other things to do. But in the meantime, who is the front runner about 18 months out before we were going to actually pull the levers for this person? That seems to be former Representative Katie Porter. She's leading the California governor's race in the potential poll of who would you vote for if these folks showed up, by 7 points. What a problem is, it's a wide open field. There's a lot of people who want to be the governor. A lot of folks who want this job. I'm not sure why. And a lot of people, unfortunately for Porter and maybe fortunately for other folks, hadn't quite figured out who they want yet. 38% or so voters are undecided. That is essentially the swing right there, that if they all voted for one person, that guy or gal would probably be your next governor of California. The contest so far is fluid and highly competitive because there's a lot of people who don't have a dog in the hunt, don't have a favorite right now. With voter uncertainty being so high, even Porter establishing as an early front runner because they just love her. She's just so adorable. It makes messaging and turnout really pivotal for anyone who wants to have this spot, Democrat or Republican, for the governorship of California, where apparently we're okay, as the song goes. Everyone's weighing in on Tay-Tay and the gym teacher, or, it's Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, the engagement, which happened 2 weeks ago. We just not found about it yesterday. Good for us. Now, all folks from Donald Trump to all their friends to fans to people like me who are hoping that it doesn't ruin their fantasy football stats, being Travis, not so much, Taylor. Charlie Kirk has weighed in, declaring that Taylor Swift's engagement actually may push her to become more conservative. Not sure where that's coming from. And urging her to submit to your husband. You're not in charge. Okay. His commentary blurred professional milestones and personal ideas because the two folks are pretty damn good on their own. Although Taylor Swift is a billionaire and Travis Kelce just is good at football, so the comparison's there. It's sort of the same thing you had with Tom Brady and Gisele Bündchen. No matter what you had to say, Gisele Bündchen had more money, more power, more pull, and even if we're eating avocado ice cream, still more power, more pull, and actually a new baby, which is interesting. But this is not about that power couple that did not quite make it. And there's a lot of things in that one. This is about this power couple that's sweet and wholesome, and we're pretty sure is going to make it. We're betting for those guys to go the distance. And Charlie Kirk wants Taylor Swift to submit to Travis Kelce, which, seeing some of his past behavior with girlfriends, may be the fact that Taylor Swift is there to right the ship is where things should be going. Now, the actual statement illustrates just how culture and politics remain interwoven, and just how some people's culture and politics is just plain out stupid, large-headed Charlie Kirk. I said that words. I'll say it again. Very large-headed, very dumb Charlie Kirk. Oh, by the way, Scott Jennings had some words in this as well. He said that Swift's best contributions at this point in time with this marriage, lots of babies. There was a time when I really wanted to project myself and play as a Republican because it made sense. It was, kind of a hook, but it made sense. It made me differentiate from different people doing commentary. And I do have conservative values. I do tend to think along those lines, just slightly right of center. These damn white people. I don't get it. But regardless of those damn white people, you, as the majority of folks that watch me here, happen to be other folks, mostly white people. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad we're having commentary. I'm glad you're even attacking me in some of the comments for some things that are there. That's fine. It's conversation. It's hurtful in some ways, but it's good. So I need you guys to step up your game a little bit. If you like me or want to hate me and like me, hit the like button. That shows the algorithms more people are looking at this stuff, and it is more engaging, more worthy of watching. Like is a relative term. We just need to have that click. So like us on Facebook, like us on X, like us on the YouTube. It'll tell the algorithms to share it with more people, and hopefully we'll get more people involved. Also, if you want more people to hate me as much as you do or like me as much as you do, share it directly with them. They may engage with me in similar ways and hopefully like and share things going forward. If you want to make sure you do not miss a moment of me popping up, whether live in your feed or in hot takes along the way, subscribe wherever you want to. YouTube is our gold standard where we're keeping up with numbers. It basically thinks YouTube is essentially what's technically paying us a little bit. But on X and on Facebook, because those are where the feeds are, those are where we get the discussions. Those are where you guys can vote up things for what we talk about, are also extremely important. So I need you, whether you love me, you hate me, or you're just like, yeah, I really need somebody to be a punching bag. I'm down for that. Like, share, and subscribe to help us grow our News Nerd Nation. Here's the thing about Kilmar, Abrego, Garcia, and I wish I could roll my R's. So it'd be amazing. I could do that. But despite his status, which has troubles, has issues, is not great, he was also wrongfully deported. He really was deported wrongfully. So a federal judge has paused his deportation this time, extending relief and scheduling a hearing for October the 6th. Now, his current situation is maybe he'll go to Uganda, although he could go to someplace that's a Spanish-speaking nation that will take him in and actually let him roam the streets freely. They'll let him have asylum. But we want to send him to Uganda. He still is about 200 miles away from his home in Greenbelt, Maryland, and to secure legal counsel and make sure everything is fine on that level. So there still is trolling from the Trump administration in that sense. But the hearing to actually deport him, whether he's staying, he's going, whether he gets special treatment, not going to happen until October. So that's been kicked back for a while. Basically, more kneeling can be happening and more pettiness by the Trump administration for what's happening. But they could send him to a friendlier nation. They can send him to a nation where he speaks the language. They can send him to some place where they'll basically let him live on his own, and maybe the family will move there. But they want to send him to Uganda. They being Trump administration, not well, whatever. You get the point. The Wisconsin man who faked his death while he was out kayaking, Ryan Bordswath, was sentenced to 89 days in jail. 1 day representing the days that his family thought he was dead after staging the kayaking disappearance. He actually fled to Europe, started a new life. He abandoned his wife and children to live up with somebody else. Investigators exposed the elaborate hoax involving fraudulent insurance claims and misleading law enforcement, claiming to be dead, cashing your money, and running off to Europe. A bad thing, as Mr. Bordswath now knows, and he's going to pay for it for 90 days. The judge intentionally matched the sentence to the duration to make it bit cheeky, both under, showing that there was personal and actual harm to this one. So there was some heft to this. But, there are stronger criminals and summer crimes to worry about other than this one. There's actual things going on at various levels that need addressing. So this needed to be addressed. The sentence happened. It's symbolic. But, other crimes need to be addressed as well. I'm fighting back the pun from moving from the last story to this one, but let's just let it happen. Let it flow like it naturally does, because this is a good one. This is a great one. This one is beautiful. Jordon Hudson, the girlfriend of head football coach of UNC, Bill Belichick, and Monday Hall of Famer for the NFL coaching, has filed a trademark for the term gold digger. Yes, that earworm is now in your head. Thank you, Kanye. The jewelry and keychain designs known as gold diggers will now be on display and sold by Miss Hudson, embracing public speculation around their age gap romance. Belichick is very old. Hudson is very young. And in interviews, it seems like Hudson's sort of pushing the buttons, and they're loving it. The attention, the controversy, and apparently a bit of each other. The application, managed through ICE or TCE rights management, follows prior efforts to monetize the phrase tied to Belichick's brands. Other phrases tied to Belichick's brand, like no days off, things like that. Spin and self-awareness collide as she, Miss Hudson, turns her criticism into commerce, cash from all the controversy, if you will. And if Belichick actually has the ability to laugh, we're not quite sure he does. He and Hudson are basically yucking up all the way to the bank with this one. This one may not seem like a big one. This one's going to be missed by many folks out there. So this is one of those things that I saw it live, said, ooh, that's bad, and kind of went along with it, or tape, because they add this episode of a WWE Raw was happening at like 3 in the afternoon because it was in Birmingham, England. But the WWE is going to plan an apology. I'm not sure if it's happened yet, but this is from the story that's rippling out there because of a line the man, Becky Lynch, gave about one Ozzy Osbourne in his hometown. The comment was, the only thing good that came out of here died a month ago. And that was a reference to Birmingham, where Monday Night Raw was being broadcast live in front of the audience there. And the only thing that good that came out, she was referencing, was Ozzy Osbourne, the rocker who died about a month ago. There you go. And of course, outrage, anger, pretty cheeky line, but a bit over the top. And even from Ozzy's family, his daughter being really the loudest one, saying, yo, Miss Man, this ain't so good. Now, insiders are describing this segment as a miscalculation. Sometimes a promo gets a little out of hand, and the man, Becky Lynch, known as that thing, that's a whole long story, as you will, went a bit too far. A few days prior, she went home to Ireland, where she's from, and she cut a promo where she had a great congratulations. All the fans were happy to see her back. And then she cut those folks down like machine guns. It was terrible. It was horrible. It was beautiful in the disaster it was, as she had the crowd eating it up in an angry manner, which is exactly how it was supposed to go. How it was supposed to go in Birmingham as well? No, not that one. The problem was you can't do Ozzy like that one. It's a rare glimpse of how wrestling's live theatrics can cross unintended cultural lines. It actually not as rare, as you will. They'll bump things back and forth. If you follow professional wrestling, follow the things, you follow how some of these people are cutting promos against people's very personal lives, you can see where things are going. But it's usually in the kayfabe world, that it's not so much kayfabe, of wrestling, inside the world of what's going on in the ring and in the characters, into what's going on. When you go against real people, Becky Lynch went against some real Irish people, saying that she wouldn't get the respect in Ireland. That one played well. Going against Ozzy Osbourne in Birmingham, no. If you're a bit suspect about the Becky Lynch story, trust me, it happened, and there is backlash. You can go back through your trail lines, back through the timelines, and check it out via Ground News. Ground News is a great place to check out exactly what was said, how it was said, and how it's being received. And Ground News is one of our more finer premium sponsors. We're so glad to have them along. They're a sponsor we have used before we actually got lined up with them, and many news outlets, many of your favorite podcasts use Ground News for their research. We do it very often for these stories. Go to our website link. It's affiliate link. We get a small commission for it at this. It's a conversationproject.com/ground news. This is a conversationproject.com/ground news. They'll give you 40% off their news plans. Then that for their lower tier plan, that'll get you news and their coverage for less than $1 a month. But you can get for $10 a month the Advantage plan, which gives you everything going, all the activity, all the comparisons, breakdowns of various stories, breakdowns of various sources, who they're owned by, how they're covering things, and the blind spot feature to its full glory, which gives you a way to see what other carriers, other silos, other news organizations are talking about in the news that your favorite one is talking about, and ones your favorite one is talking about way too much compared to what the other ones are talking about. This shows you what your news blind spots are. This is the best way to do your actual own research, by seeing what other people are doing to talk about their news, their coverage, their stuff. It's very simple. Go to this is a conversationproject.com/ground news. This is a conversationproject.com/ground news. 40% off their plans, and we get a small commission. This is an affiliate link. It helps us keep going. You can visit our website for more partnerships and more sponsors. But we really are really hyped up because this is a partner and a sponsor that we talk about every single day. We use them every single day. Because lack of pithiness has taken this to 20 minutes, and we had a lot to talk about. I rambled and stuttered early on getting into the school shooting because it's still kind of weighing on me. I didn't have the notes written up for that one because I had notes for the full story, but not the short talk here. So that was a bit. I went way too long on Becky Lynch because I love me some Becky Lynch, and I went long on some other stories as well that got a little rambly. The story on the CDC director being pushed out, although she technically wasn't pushed out, is one that's a theme, a troubling theme that we have in our current set for us, U.S., in our administration and how things are being running. So if you're not seeing it, you either are pushing for it as a part of it, or you're just not paying attention. I'll end with that because now it's time to end the show for the day. So the whole part about being pithy is I still can't justify putting in birthdays and history lessons. I need to. I want to. Those are conversational as well, but it makes it too long. Maybe if I find some time, I can tape them ahead and do stuff like that because those are really fun. In the meantime, love you guys so much. Visit our partnership page, our sponsorship page, and learn more about us at this is a conversationproject.com. Replays of the shows as well on the YouTube. The video clips are there. And if the recorder doesn't work, we've had some glitching issues with, I guess, internet because we stream it live and get it recorded from there. Hopefully you can get a better replay from YouTube today. Yesterday's was all sort of weird. Apologies for that. But we do our best with what we have. If you want to throw a couple bucks our way, be a partner, or check out sponsorships, it does help. Help me keep growing our News Nerd Nation. We are growing slowly, but still growing. That's the point. We need you, and we need more news nerds like you. Love you. Mean it. Thursday, August 28th is done. One more time, one more day. Fridays coming tomorrow.